Hi to my second video. I'm drawing three Huskies and right now rough sketching, getting the proportions right. What is important here, don't be scared that the three dogs aren't perfectly composed to each other. That's not the pain point. Just get the dogs right. I'm drawing them from a photo I took, and the dogs are expecting to get a treat. That's why they look in one specific direction. And I was using like a graphic program to take a picture of my drawing, load the photo, the real photo, into the program and overlaying it with my drawing using some transparency to see if I catch the dog in the right way. This uncovers kind of mistakes you normally do, like patterns I was uncovering by that technique. That often when I do human faces, I just make the nose too small, and so you can elaborate or like educate your sense of proportions. Um, the first dog on the left side, he has the darkest fur. The other ones are like completely white. So it took me the most of the time on the left side. You will see how I elaborate the fur soon, but what I want to say is even when I got the proportions right, I kind of sometimes had the feeling, but this doesn't look like the actual dog. Is there a mistake or something like that? For example, the dog on the right side, just to me, it had such a weird looking face, and when I later was shaping it and elaborating it, filling it with life, then it was actually exactly what I wanted. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't look perfect from the first moment on. One additional thing is keep your pencils always sharp, uh, especially when you make fur, otherwise you won't get this look of specific like dog fur or fur in general. Um, by the dog, by the white dogs, even more than on the gray dog in the front, you are not drawing the hair, you are drawing the shadow the hair casts. Well, here the dog has dark hair, so that's why I'm drawing it, yeah. Important thing now when I'm doing the fur, already with the first layer of very light gray, you give it a sense of shape. And then you have to stick to your discipline. You have to make the strokes in the direction of the hair, and you make line by line. And then you might get the impression, okay, it doesn't look perfect, it doesn't look photorealistic. So add another layer, go again, make the next one. Sometimes when you see the structure of the paper through, it gives it this unrealistic look. When you still can see where every single stroke was ending, it gives it an unrealistic look. So you just go on, add some layers more and more, and when it's a little bit brighter, you don't have to apply too many layers. It's like kind of highlights you use later. And then you can use the paper wiper to smooth the surfaces and give it a even more realistic look. And when you smooth everything, you can go over it with a pencil again to draw more hair on this homogeneous color you just created. And that's how you get a really realistic look. When you're drawing the shades, or when you're shaping it, you must have like an understanding of the general anatomy of a dog. You must see how the form of the skull is behind it. You must have an idea where the muscles are, how a dog is, like what muscles it uses to walk. So it always helps to know the anatomy. Here, for example, the skull clearly defines where you have to apply the really slight shadow. And layer by layer you are giving this shape a more realistic look. Never get impatient. Try to get smooth fadings from a darker color to a lighter color. I was only using 3 different pens, and by applying different pressure, you were creating, even within one pencil, different shades of gray. Here are the muscles of the front legs of the dog. And you also have to take into consideration that you are looking from the top on the dogs, so you have like some perspective view, and it of course looks different than you're just looking from the side of the dog. Yeah, and here you see the face, which was first weird looking for me when I was filling it with life. It made a very like a way better impression how I wanted it, and now I am elaborating on the anatomy. And by just a very few strokes with very slight pressure, you already can give it so much form and give it a realistic look. You cannot apply much pressure, because then you wouldn't make this impression of a white fur. One additional tip is to keep your pencils sharp. Just rotate it when you are drawing. It keeps it sharp. And use an electric eraser to create some highlights. It's like negative drawing. I was highlighting some hairs on the face of the dogs or on the fur. I will do it pretty soon when I'm just finished with the chest of this husky on the right side. Smoothing it a bit. And here I am doing the highlights. And that's basically it. 6 hours of work and you can create a really nice image of 3 dogs. Hope that helped you a lot, or at least a little. See you in the next video. Bye.